Okay, so I had recently released a video a couple weeks ago about how to master family, and I read up on a comment that really piqued my interest. This one from Ozit for Real 1631. Excited about the new family, victim, and map coming out, and curious what you thought about them. And this is really interesting because with the little information we have, how will they fit this into the dynamic of current TCM? I will be discussing Black Nancy and Danny along with the new map. For the sake of it, I'm just going to call her Nancy. I have brought a screenshot from the game developers about spoilers, and I will admit this is from a while ago, 6 months ago in fact, and the reason I bring this to you is because besides animation, moris, and outfits, we don't have much to work with. So there could be redesigns of this since this post. If you prefer to read, you absolutely can, or I can link this in the description of this video if you wish to read up on the lore. But I want to pinpoint and highlight the important takeaways and discuss a little bit about Nancy before we talk about anything else. We knew from Nancy already that she will have a spy ability, allowing her to sense the approximate location of a single victim in a general vicinity. Quote unquote, it's almost as if she can see through their eyes for a short period of time. Will come with the duration of a stun cooldown, which I imagine is going to be a bit drastic considering her ability will be that powerful. Of course, be mindful of when and where you use her ability. And then the forums go on to say Nancy can use Sissy's wildflower powder stations to help her recover more quickly. This is where the other part of her ability comes from. Nancy will also be able to place homemade strings of barbed wire across gaps and doorways. These will be razor sharp and have chains wrapped around them. These traps will not be able to stun victims nor slow down victims, but act as noisemakers in the game. And this obviously means generally speaking of opening or collecting anything in a fast manner. The same kind of design will apply here. This will make this time nearly impossible to run or hide during that duration of time. We do not have any information of the duration of the trap that it lasts or how many she will be able to place. Generally speaking, if we will be fairly balanced, she will more than likely have 3, considering Hitchhiker and Sissy have the same kind of design. During this duration, physical damage will apply to said victim. Sort of like Hitchhiker, Nancy will be able to place, reset, and also move traps wherever she may see fit. But here's the kicker to that. Family members can also set off these traps. Interesting. Now here's the physical damage effect of her ability. Nancy's weapon will be able to rip victims to shred, not much there considering we do not know how much damage that means, while the other side of her weapon can cause serious blunt force trauma, assuming the reverse flat will do more damage in this sense. Now this is speculating here, but I think what they mean by this is Nancy will have a heavy attack and a light attack, kind of like Leatherface for example. You can use the heavy attack, but there will be a cooldown in this sense, while the other side of her weapon will be lighter melee damage with less cooldown. At least that's how I'm putting it together. Because Dead by Daylight also follows the same concept, all killers have a quick and longer lunge swing. That aspect kind of seems to go together. Why am I talking about DBD right now? Anyway, a successful hit will cause victims to bleed out, allowing Nancy to collect more blood and will have a higher blood vial capacity than the rest of the family. So for what I am reading, this killer seems ridiculous. If Nancy lives up to this expectation upon release, will anyone play any other family member? I mean, let's just be honest here. The hype along with this is Nancy will have better seeing ability than Cook, as you won't have to guess where victims are anymore. Nancy will have better blood harvesting than Sissy, as it says, and will be able to slow down victims like Sissy, and will have the same base function with her ability as Hitchhiker, with the melee damage of Leatherface all in one character. So either one of 3 things is happening here. Either they're making a change to everyone's abilities from the family side, they're overhyping Nancy for in-game play, or she's gonna have extremely low endurance because that's the only things I can possibly think of. The only downside of her ability I can see is her having a stun after using her vision through the victim's eyes, and that family can walk through her traps. Neither of these being a huge deal if used and played strategically. There's a lot we don't know. And here's what we have of the new victim Danny. We know what Danny looks like, and we know so far what his ability does. Danny can tamper with and permanently open or activate fuse box, pressure valve tanks, and generators, restricting the family from being able to protect them once opened. Mark my words when I say this, if this happens, I will reference this. This sounds overpowered, right? I think it's going to be very irritating when Danny drops for the first time, being for the family, and then they're going to follow up with an update because there is too much complaining going on. And he's going to get extremely tough nerfs until nobody wants to play him. We have seen this time and time again, but hey, maybe I'm being over dramatic, let's see how this goes. This would be a literal nightmare for the family, I cannot say it enough, and not to mention more than likely undo everything the developers have changed in this game. Think about fuse box counterplay, they're about to add valve counterplay for the family, and adding this victim means if you touch it once, it's all said and done. Like I discussed before guys, these are rumors. We do not know if this is how it's going to be, but we can only assume from what we have. I really appreciate if you're here right now watching this video. If you are enjoying, please do leave a thumbs up for me. Feedback feedback means the world to me. And also, if you could, hit that subscribe button. It literally takes 0.2 seconds, and it literally lets me know to keep up the great content. Thanks so much, guys. And now our final discussion of the day, the new map, the Junkyard. And guys, I have an image and a video as a trailer for you, and that's what everyone has so far besides a location sheet that describes where you are around the map. We have the image of the house with a gate surrounding it. Again, like I've said before, this could be an exit gate, this could be really anything. And the house in the back of the image that seems to be the main fit of this map, considering this reminds me of the family house in a sense. But this is supposed to be the backdrop of and will include Johnny's shack, and just like in the lore, Black Nancy is Johnny's aunt and she murdered his mother. I'm kind of getting a feel that this may be Johnny's old house of some sort when he was a child. Again, this is pretty much all speculation. It looks pretty nice, and one can only assume that we will be getting a day and nighttime version of this. It would just make sense. But I like how the new map looks so far. Let's see it into gameplay. This was all leaked about 6 months ago for character designs, for images a couple months back, and the trailer was just a week or two ago. That gave us more to let us know of a I'm coming to the game kind of feel to it. But let me know what you guys think. From the lore, kind of seems game changing, but after all, what changes will they make before the release? More information soon I can share with you guys, but that's enough for this one. Peace out, everyone. Have a good rest of your day wherever you are. I am out.